Okay, just talk through this.
I've had to swap lenses after my little incident. When you're able to use Dave's camera so that I can practice my close-up shot. No. Yeah, Dave is meant to be the wide shot. Alright, I just gotta do a few things.
Kia ora, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to a very, very soggy Auckland. This is round 3 match of the National Women's League between Auckland United and Western Springs. Originally this game was meant to be coming to you from Kithe Park. However, given the weather in Auckland today, that facility is underwater, and the game's been transferred to Michael's Ave in Ellerslie. And as you can see, there's plenty of surface water on the artificial turf here at Michael's Ave. Quick look at the standings. Western Springs sitting on 6 points, along with Eastern Suburbs. Auckland United sitting on 4 points. So the Auckland team's dominating the National Women's League standings at the moment. Canterbury United, the best of the rest. Well, it has been raining all day here. The pitch is marginal. The referees have been out on the pitch. They've been testing the roll of the ball. And it looks like the game is going to get underway. However, we're not too sure how long the game is going to go for. So we are in a state whereby we're hopeful that we're going to get a full game of football, but we're not 100% sure with that. Looking at the two sides, just saw the Western Springs side up there. Now looking at the Auckland United side, it will be a 4-2-3-1 formation. Both these sides impacted by the under-17 team, the New Zealand under-17 team heading over to India. Auckland United impacted more so with 3 players out, Amy Daniele, Millie Clegg and Ruby Nathan. And Western Springs have Lara Kolpe in that side as the New Zealand team head over to see if they can do well at the World Cup, another Youth World Cup for New Zealand football to contest. As you can see, the players coming out on a very wet Michael's Ave turf. Referee Riley Greenbury there. Players line up. He will be supported by Stephen Merriman, Unji Dayo, and fourth official is Ashley Wilson. You can see all the water in the foreground there. As I say, it's been raining heavily all day here in Auckland. And Harry, what's that going to do to the game?
Well, good afternoon, Fred. It is going to be such a difficult surface and conditions to play through for both sets of players. Both Western Springs and Auckland United love to play an open brand of football, but I'm afraid to say the conditions are going to have an impact on the quality of football we'll see this afternoon. But saying that, both teams are eager to get on with this game this afternoon. As you said, transferred across from Keith Hay Park. But interesting to see how we get this one off in the first sort of 10 or 15 minutes, Fred. I'm not quite sure how long we're going to go for. Yeah,
and it might be a case of the referees or the officials wanting to get the game started at least, and then if they do call it, then the result may stand. Not 100% sure on the rules of that, but then at least they have a result. Otherwise, the game has to be rescheduled, and with such a tight season and compacted season with the National Women's League and the season running all the way through to December 18, there's no room to really, unless they're playing midweek, there's no time to play the game.
Yeah, well, I think saying that's probably one of the reasons why the officials will want to get this game, at least started. It has been raining, as you said, quite heavily throughout Auckland, and the forecast for this afternoon is no better than what we're seeing on your picture today. But look, Auckland United are going to get us off this afternoon. As you said, Fred, missing a couple of players, or 3 players actually, due to the Under-17 World Cup in India later on this month. So an opportunity for a couple of the squad players to put their hand up for a starting position this afternoon.
So underway here at Michael's Ave, Auckland United in their all black strip. Western Springs, of course, in their green and white hoops. And it'll be interesting to see once the players get the ball on the deck here to see whether or not the ball is impacted by the surface water. You'll see it most noticeably in the foreground when the ball comes over to this side of the pitch. Straight away, Western Springs on the offensive. An opportunity for a shot. And Rina Hirano with the first effort on goal. Ball just dropping nicely for her. And her shot easily dealt with Jess Barnard. And Harry, is it a case of, I mean, the ball seems to be rolling okay, but is it a case of, don't muck around too much at the back and just get it forward?
Yeah, well, I think
much more direct style today.
I think so, but particularly with Western Springs, if you saw the replay here, Rina Hirano hitting that one first time, shot on target. But you're right, Fred, it's going to be, particularly as you see down this near side of the camera here, there's rather a lot of water on the water here.
And Springs in again, Springs it, that ball just sliding past the far post. Good opportunity, good overlapping run from Maggie Pedersen.
Yeah, you're right, Fred. The second opportunity for Springs this afternoon. Maggie Pedersen coming, late run from right back, actually scored last week. Western Springs win over Canterbury Pride. And already Springs are asserting some ascendancy in this first sort of 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, Pedersen, they're getting beyond in the leaning. You may wonder why the surface water sort of seems to be congregating down this near side. Well, the pitch here at Michael's Ave slopes this way towards our cameras on the near side, and so of course that's the way the water drains, and that's where with such heavy rain throughout the day it starts to fill up from this side of the field and starts to edge across the pitch. But first couple of minutes and Western Springs seem to be dealing with the conditions better. Now again, Hirano already had one strike on goal. Very close to the far sideline. Now they spread the play wider.
Yeah, they are a side, Fred, that loves to build up from the back. Uluveli particularly there. Hirano, Taitumu. I've been impressed with Emma Painenberg over the last couple of weeks too. Very tidy player in the middle of the park. Nice left foot, well balanced. Links up well with Sofia Garcia up front too.
Gisinnis looking to stretch the play here. Chance to open out. Put the ball in behind again. Maya Lithe chasing down Leeming. And time for Jess Barnard just to survey her options. Pushing the back. Referee says play on. Here's 3v1 opportunity for Springs. But the cross just straight at the keeper.
Yeah, Sofia Garcia did well to dispossess Sophie Bradley on that side, but just like a bit of quality in the crosses. Weren't too many players in the box for Springs for her to aim at as well, but safe one for Jessie Barnard. You see Garcia, good pressure on the ball.
Foul?
Marginal, Fred, would you say?
Just in the moment, it's all Springs. Game being played primarily in the Auckland United half of the field. Hirano goes down under a challenge. Referee says, well, didn't give the last one, won't give that one either. Some hardy souls on the far side of Michael's Ave, huddled under the umbrellas. Let's give credit to our cameraman sitting on an open scaffold out there. very, very wet conditions. It's been a horrible day in Auckland. But at least we're getting some football. Innes again.
Yeah, and a good start by Western Springs too. We've seen a first couple of chances falling to Western Springs, but they've probably settled the better of the two so far.
Bloomfield looking across the park, gets cut out. Innes now looking forward. There's plenty of time, and Bree Johnson does well, and he looks for a ball in behind for Barnard to run on to. Barnard, that could be handball. Yes, referee calls a handball.
Yeah, very lucky at the back, Ulavili there. Just a bit casual with the pass, and Amy Barnard trying to force Tui Samoa into a hurried clearance.
There's two Barnards in the Auckland United team, one at either end of the field. Jess in goal, Amy up front. Leeming throw to Timu. She'll know this ground very well. Played here a lot for Ellerslie. Barnard again. Looking wide for Bella Richards. Can she keep it in? No. Just played too hard for the right winger for Auckland United. Now a chance for United to pin Springs back a little bit, try and press high up the park. As Taitimu goes down on the challenge again, the referee says play on. Edge of the box for Auckland United. And now an opportunity for Springs to build up again. It's patient build-up that we've seen in previous weeks.
Yeah, they're not Ulavili and Jervis in the middle of the park for Springs. They don't mind. You know, they're quite competent on the ball. They love to bring the ball out for them back and try and get Taitimu or Innes involved earlier on in the middle of the park to set the tone, try and dictate play from the back, which is nice to see.
Yeah, that nice build-up play just undone by a loose pass, and now quite noticeable how Auckland United are trying to get the ball forward very, very quickly. Have been somewhat weakened, this Auckland United team that did pick up the Kate Shepherd Cup a few weeks ago. Katie Duncan out of that side. Team Pukitapu, the goal scorer in the Kate Shepherd Cup final, also missing out of this team, plus the three under 17 players, probably the most recognised of those, Millie Clegg, who always poses a threat up front. So I think Western Springs, who have beaten Auckland United twice in the regular season, will be thinking that this could be a game for the taking, and with all these teams in the National Women's League trying to get into those top two spots to make the final, it's important that you don't drop points anywhere along the way.
On the flip side of that one though, Fred, you'd be delighted, wouldn't you, Mauro Donoso having three players in the national team?
And here we go, a breakout from the back. Chance here for Springs, one-on-one with the keeper, and there's the goal from Rina Hirano. Just breaks open the defence, carries the ball all the way to the keeper, and picks her spot past Jess Barnard, and it's Western Springs 1-0 up.
And again, Bloomfield looks like in the middle of the park, losing possession to Peinenberg, and what an exquisite pass. Fantastic run by Hirano. Too much pace at the back to get past Jessica Philpott, and Hirano scores, I think, her second goal of the season. She scored last week as well for Springs. But again, Auckland United unfortunately caught quite square at the back. Again, dispossessed in the middle of the park.
As you say, a lovely ball from Peinenberg. Beautiful defence-splitting pass.
And her unfavoured right foot too, Fred, as well. So,
yeah, clever play from Rina Hirano as well. Had the pace, but also took the ball across the line of the defender, just to make it even harder for the defender to effect the tackle. Hirano now just sends her pass out over the sideline. As I was saying just before that goal was scored, Western Springs have beaten Auckland United twice. Won twice, lost once in the regular season. So they come into this game with on the back of decent level of confidence. It has been interesting watching the National Women's League unfold in its first 2 weeks. How dominant the Auckland teams are so far in the competition.
yeah, look, all four teams have had good starts to the season. Some heavy goals, a lot of goals, but three of them have scored a lot of goals. We saw the opening draw. I think Rovers and United was a 1-1 draw, but Springs beat Southern United 6-1 in round one. Auckland United beat Southern United 7-0 last week, so poor old Southern United have copped an unfortunate start to the season. But you're right, the quality certainly in the Auckland sides is evident to see with the way they're playing, particularly Springs. I mean, without Lara Kolpe or Sam Tafaru up front, they still have some good depth within the squad.
Yes, this is one of four games in the National Women's League today. Central Football up against Northern Rovers. Canterbury Pride take on Eastern Suburbs. And down in Wellington, Capital Football are up against Southern. You can see here the ball starting to stop a little bit in the surface water. Misplaced pass here from Taitimu. Now chance, opportunity to shoot from distance. That's the first shot on goal and the first real test for Angelique Tuisamoa.
Yeah, the Springs defence dropped way off there, Bella Richards, and it's quite an ambitious strike from that sort of distance to beat Tuisamoa. But I guess with the way the pitch is sort of forming out, I mean, running with the ball at this time can be quite difficult. So chose to shoot from distance and potentially catching Tuisamoa off her line.
Springs finishing the Northern Premier League, Northern Women's Premier League in second place. Auckland United were fourth. Ooh, that's a heavy challenge from Barnard on Uluvili. Jervis brings it out, looks forward. Marano, nice touch from her, and she spread it wide. The passes maybe not sticking as much as you'd expect. Harano's doing very well up front. moving around in that forward position and making herself available, and then bringing other players into the game as well.
Yeah, they've certainly got some quality in the middle of the park. Here's another one. We talked about Peinenberg earlier on, but there's definitely a lot of communication in the middle of the park for Springs. I mean, their link play's been, even in the opening sort of 15 minutes in these sort of conditions, has been quite nice to watch, actually.
Timu back to her keeper, across to Pedersen. Now forward into Harano. Nice work from Western Springs. They get the ball into Auckland United territory. Good run in behind. Offside flag goes up though against Sophie Garcia.
I think her movement over the first couple of weeks has been very good. Sofia Garcia, she operates very direct but can run off the shoulder into space, as we saw on that occasion. And without Sam Tafaru up front, it's probably been the key focal point to lead the line and provide a lot of movement up front. We saw Harano break from midfield with a bit of space, so they do like to use the ball really well, do Western Springs.
Ball bouncing around in the middle of the park. Now, Auckland United look to get it forward, but just a little bit stretched their play at the moment, Auckland United, and the gaps between the defensive midfield and forward lines just too great.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get into any sort of rhythm, have they, Auckland United? It's been all Springs so far. Looking to play more of a direct game, Auckland United.
The referee says that is Auckland United's ball. You can see Ryan Faithful there standing next to the dugout right by the halfway line. Just surveying things. He'll be very happy. Side 1-0 up. Playing well. Just looks like the rain is there's a little bit more water on the pitch in that middle area. Here's Johnson, Barnard, can she get past the final defender? No, better from Auckland United this, but then finally the ball just skews off the cross and over for a goal kick.
Yeah, that was much better from Auckland United. At least trying to move things in the middle of the park, get the ball out wide. But just the execution of that cross was a bit wayward.
Bulivili brings the ball forward, straight over the top. Hirano runs onto it. Shepherded well there by Jess Philpott. Now looking to run down the keeper. Good pressure from the striker leads to a turnover for Western Springs. Peinenberg there just dwelt on it too long. And now Auckland United bring it forward. And that's the combination, that's the communication you were talking about, Harry. Just lacking a little bit for Auckland United as they bring the ball forward.
Yeah, you're going to say Jervis there, the Springs defender read the game well there and stepped in at the right time, but it was a bit of a wayward pass out of the defence from Auckland United.
Now again, ball over the top. Here's an opportunity. No flag. Garcia, and Garcia makes it 2. We're just waiting to see if the flag, yes, it looks like the flag did go up eventually. So one of those instances where They let the play run to see what eventuates.
Yeah, they are playing a very fine line, aren't they, Auckland United at the back. It was a nice finish, though, from Garcia.
And again, you spoke about her movement in the early stages of this competition, Harry, and we saw it there again.
Yeah.
You know, comes in off the wing, unmarked, and then finds herself in behind.
I think she does, well, you can say she drifts throughout games in terms of the way her movement across that front line, but she times her runs, well, on that occasion was a bit off, but her runs usually off the shoulder of a defender, and the balls are played in, so the timing of the pass to put her in, or to put Tafaru in when she's playing, or Harano, as we've seen running out from midfield, the timing of the ball and the pass and the run has been great to watch.
Harano drops deep. Jess Innes starts to move the ball around in the midfield, just sitting as their anchor, the number 14 for Western Springs. The Western Springs subs on the far side there. So they have Sophie Dyer, Keely Taylor, Mia Irvine, Celia Mayo and Helena O'Connor at their disposal. There's a foul there. Referee giving it to Western Springs. Bit of consternation among some of the Auckland United players. Thought this was a high foot.
Yes, it's Pinenberg. I think it was Georgia Martin stepping in there with hands in the air saying, "No, not me," or
"Never me, ref, never me."
I think Pinenberg too played that one round the corner, and Martin just blocked her run.
Innes it is, who delivers the ball. Hit it up in the air by the Auckland United defence. Now they've got an opportunity to break. There's plenty of white shirts forward, so chance here through Johnson. Johnson there looking for Barnard, Amy Barnard, to get across. Not the best throw you'll ever see from Emma Leeming. Referee says play on. Georgia Martin back to her keeper. And that's not a great clearance from Jess Barnard. Just checking something, I think, with the Auckland United bench. Bloomfield, as she does, drives out of midfield. Richards. Barnard takes on her defender, checks back inside, runs into traffic though. Amy Barnard and is dispossessed. So the Auckland United moves as they try and bring the ball forward into that attacking third, just lacking that little bit of incisive play or combination play to make life difficult for the Western Springs defence. See in the background there the green wall board on the new building that is being constructed at Michael's Ave for Ellerslie AFC. Fantastic facility. It'll be used in the FIFA Women's World Cup coming up next year. Great to see the Women's World Cup having an impact on some of the facilities all around the country as venues get upgraded as training venues for teams, visiting teams to use. See there the spray as the ball rolls through some of the surface water. Here's Johnson. Johnson across the face of that 18-yard box. Good cross that. Needed someone to take a chance, get on the end of it.
Yeah, a bit of sustained pressure from Auckland United, working the ball both on the right side with Richards and on this left-hand side. Used to be a great ball over the top.
Ball pops out to Leeming. Leeming chips it inside. Leeming, and tipped over by the keeper. No, it hit the top of the crossbar. Thought the keeper had got a hand to it, but just hit the top of the crossbar and bounces over for a goal kick.
Yeah, Maggie Pedersen caught on the wrong side of her defender there. Emma Leeming. A cross-come shot, but I'm sure she'd take it if it found the back of the net.
Almost snuck in under the crossbar there. So better from Auckland United. Their best moment of the afternoon.
It does look like the weather has subsided, Fred, or the rain has anyway for the best part of the last 10 or 15 minutes.
As you can see, the water filters away very, very quickly. But if we do get another really heavy shower, you'll see that just the puddles will just appear again.
Yeah, the puddles certainly have dissipated on this side of the camera.
Springs coming forward, nice outside of the foot pass. Here's Garcia. Garcia, can she haul this ball in? No, it rolls out. An Auckland United throw. It's the start of the Men's National League as well today. So 5 games in the Men's National League for the 10 teams that are contesting that competition. As the ball gets hooked into the centre and Barnard just comes out to collect. And already we've had what would seem to be an upset result with Kashmir Technical defeating Miramar Rangers. Now, there's always a possibility of them winning the game, but by a 4-0 scoreline really is somewhat surprising. Other games today, Napier City Rovers are playing the Wellington Phoenix, Wellington Olympic, Springs over the top again. But Wellington Olympic up against Auckland City. Birkenhead play Christchurch United. That game will take place at Shepherds Park tomorrow. And Auckland United, the men's side, will take on Melville at Kithe Park. I'm not sure that game's going to go ahead again, given the conditions at Kithe Park. So plenty of football, 9 games of National League across the 2 competitions every week for the next 9 weekends. And back here it is United in possession through Jess Philpott, bundled over. Now there's an opportunity to spring forward. Garcia, can she slip the ball across? No, her pass misdirected, looking for Maya Lythe. Timu. And Springs get the free kick. The referee just waiting for the ball to stop rolling with the wind here. As you can see, the brollies have come down on the far side, so the rain has actually stopped. One of the few times today. Oh, beautiful
Nice
touch,
touch.
Hirano, and the strike. Pulls a good save from Jess Barnard. But lovely technique from Rina Hirano.
That was the two. I think it was maybe Sofia Garcia that played that ball there, but great touch from Hirano, and one touch to turn, second touch to shoot. And then it was quite comfortable for Barnard down to her right. Making good service into the front line for Western Springs again.
Yes, Hirano and Takeda. Two Japanese players that have found their way to Western Springs. They've been with the club since 2019. I think they just turned up, sort of unannounced, said they were looking to play some football and never looked back.
Kind
Nice
of
work.
an Alberiera story, right?
Exactly.
Just turn up and
Just
play a bit of
backpacking.
football. Yeah.
It is one of those times when the fit between player and club is exactly right. And they've done very, very well for Western Springs. Said, come runners up in this Northern Premier League competition over the last couple of seasons. There's Garcia. Hirano in front. She takes off. Square ball. Taitimu. Left her pass a little short. And Lehman comes forward. Plays it into Barnard. Barnard on the turn. So both sides a little bit guilty of giving up possession. Garcia bundled over just in front of the dugout. So there's a hardy soul there sitting at the top of that scaffold on the far side. With his frolly trying to stay dry, wind blowing in his face.
You see Amy Richards, just her body language when she's trying to get facing Toi Samoa's goal and looking to run onto the ball when it gets played forward to her. Millie Clegg, you touched on that before, Fred, very direct, but a lot of pace. And the first game we had against Northern Rovers, the defence just sat off her and allowed her to run at the defence. But a very dynamic, very aggressive type of player. Ball at feet, loves to get forward. Be interesting, be great to see how they do at the Under-70 World Cup in India. You have Germany, Nigeria and Chile, the group with New Zealand, their first game on the 11th of October against Chile. Be fantastic if they could replicate
Yeah, I was just going to say
2018, wasn't it? Or go one step further, perhaps.
He's had a good run with the under-17s, the last tournament, so he'll be looking to emulate the feats of previous teams as Western Springs. Keep the ball in the tight on the far side. Takeda, the left back there. Hirano just dropped really deep. Taitimu again looking for that slip pass through the middle. Garcia, who's drifted off her wing, as you said, Harry, loves to drift around up front. Innes steps forward in that defensive midfield role. Lovely piercing ball there. Kept in by Takeda. Takeda will look to deliver. Just takes that extra touch. Puts the ball in the box. Live. Back to Taitemu. And eventually the ball rolls out. Arano again just manages to come away with the ball, but then loses out to Johnson. Bree Johnson sets off. Again, that final pass, just not finding its mark.
Yeah, it's just not sticking at the moment, isn't it, for Auckland United when they do play the ball forward into Bree Johnson or Barnard. On the flip side, you can see the Sophia Garcia or Maya Lyth breaking the line of Auckland United.
Inside the last 10 minutes of this first half, a game that we thought may have not lasted this long. Seems like we're going to get at least a full half of football. As Barnard tries to just flick the ball inside to one of her teammates. Still have good pressure here, Auckland United. Arano just has that ability to pull the ball out of the air. Bloomfield trying to link up. It's the cross coming in. It does come in. Barnard there. Here's an opportunity on the back stick. Bella Richards has swapped wings. Had the chance there. But Auckland United just when they move the ball quickly and then get it wide, cross the ball in, they do look a bit more dangerous. That's nice football from Western Springs. Slipped in behind. Here's Harano again. Space in the middle. Opportunity for Lyth. Ball just overhit. She has to run away from goal. Lyth puts it back in. Strike comes. And it flashes just past the post from Sophia Garcia. Another good opportunity for Western Springs.
Yeah, good football by Springs. One side to the other. See Pynenberg just trying to slip the ball across to Maya Lyth, just overhit from, I think it was Jessica Innes. And then Pynenberg on her right foot, not her favoured foot, but still making some nice run into the box.
They've had the ball in the back of the net twice already. That was almost number 3. One of those times chalked off for offside, but Western Springs really are showing more in front of goal. But never write off this Auckland United side. They have battled back when things haven't looked great for them. Springs again through Taitemu. Live just gets pushed off the ball there by Dodd. Good work from Jenna Dodd, just using her body really, really well. Gleaming forward to Johnson. cut out by Painenberg. Goes back to Takeda. Painenberg, nice spin, middle of the park, sets off now. Releases Garcia down the line. Just overhits her pass a little bit, and yes, the ball rolls out again.
Yeah, nice bit of footwork by, good turn from Emma Painenberg, and again that run from Garcia, this one from inside to out. They do need to get a bit closer to, particularly the Auckland United midfielders, giving the likes of Painenberg, Taitumu far too much room in the middle of the park just to play those balls forward to Garcia. Here we go again, Hirano on this occasion.
Yes, Emma Painenberg represented New Zealand at the Under-20 World Cup in Costa Rica. Fortunately for her, didn't see any game time at the tournament, but has come back and has started the national competition very, very well. There is Painenberg on cue. Back to Lily Jervis. Further back to Samoa. This is Livili just bringing it out down this right flank. And although she miscontrolled the ball that time, Rina Hirano really is a real asset for the spring side. Has the, just gives them a real out-and-out target to hit. And we see her then just gets the ball, brings it down, brings in her Japanese compatriot into the game. So just good play by the Springs team. Livili again. Oh, ball over the top, and it was Garcia running in behind.
Yeah, but again, Fred, no pressure on the ball from Auckland United all the time for Uluvili, or if it's Taitumu, Painenberg previously, just to get the ball and pick a pass forward. United really just need to get those midfielders out a lot quicker.
Yes, just putting the defensive line under pressure, giving the opposition midfielders so much space. Johnson. Hirano twists and turns, gets the ball back to Innes. Now Springs again. He said no pressure on the ball, and Hirano would run into an offside position, but again, just no pressure.
Yeah. You need someone like Georgia Martin or Jessica Philbert just to, scream at your midfield, or Alessi Bloomfield, just to get your players, Jenna Dodd and Sophie Williams, pushing on a lot higher up at the park, at least to get that second phase ball that Spring seem to be getting when they pick up the ball in the middle of the park. A lot of time and space to turn, and technically they're very good players, aren't they? Painenberg, Takeda, Hirano and Taitimu all love to play with the ball at their feet, but getting their heads down makes it a lot more difficult to pick a pass.
Yes, there's no time to be added on, and right on cue The referee blows for half-time, and a half that started in horrible conditions. It seems to have lightened up a lot as the half's worn on, and it was Western Springs that struck early through Rina Hirano in the 10th minute, and it was her goal that has separated the two sides. Western Springs having the better of this first 45 minutes, but at half-time it is Auckland United 0, Western Springs 1. So looking at results so far in the Men's National League Championship for 2022, as I said, it started, this is the first round of games. Kashmir Tech, comfortable winners over Miramar Rangers, 4-0, that game at English Park. Full-time score and another, possibly a bit of an upset this one as well. Phoenix had come third in the central competition ahead of Napier City Rovers, but Napier City Rovers won. Good to see them back into the national competition after a few years away. So Victors 1-0 over the Wellington Phoenix Reserves. And with just 5 minutes remaining in the Auckland City versus Wellington Olympic game, it is Auckland City that lead 2-1 at Endeavour Park in Porirua. Wellington Olympic playing all their games out at Porirua, given that a couple of the other stadiums are unavailable that are a bit closer to home. So good to see the National League get underway. It's a single round of competition, so everyone just playing each other once, and then the top two go into the grand final. So imperative if you want to make the final that you don't lose points early on. And just at the moment it's Kashmir Tech and Napier City Rovers leading the table, possibly to be joined by Auckland City in just a few minutes as their game winds up against Wellington Olympic. So looking ahead to tomorrow's fixtures out at Shepherds Park, we'll see how the pitch stands up to all this rain. Birkenhead United will take on the visiting Christchurch United, and at Keithay Park again, the game got moved from there today, so it'll be interesting to see whether the Auckland United versus Melville United game actually goes ahead at Keithay Park or will get moved. That game on Sky Sports 7. Kicking off at 3 p.m, Birkenhead game here on Sky Next. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. So let's look at some of the goals from the National Women's League over the last couple of rounds.
Spring a counter-attack here. Possession with United, just off the heels of Nathan. Oh, what a strike! And they have got an equaliser, and that is a wonderful snapshot. Really didn't appear to have a lot of time or indeed a lot of room, but a wonderful strike on goal. And they do have the equaliser, and it's Millie Clegg.
And it's bundled in, and Auckland do get the opening goal. It may have even been an own goal in the end. It was almost came out of nothing. Auckland on the attack again. And if it comes in, Simmers gets a save, but can't keep it out. And only a minute or so after opening the scoring, Auckland doubled their lead, and Simmers will be disappointed there that she couldn't keep it out. Southern win their first header. Long range effort coming in, and well, poor Simmers, it was an awkward one. Once again got her hands to it, but couldn't tip it over the bar, and Auckland go 3-0 up before the break. But the players that have come in have done a good job, and well, there we go, 4th goal for Auckland United. Just like that. Great to see him back in New Zealand making an impact, and oh no, it's a disaster for Southern United, but Auckland United had a 5th goal. Once again, it almost came from nothing. It was sent long from the free kick, wasn't dealt with. Ball swung in again to the 6-yard box. And again, another goal, 6-0, thumped home. And I think it was Jess Philpott, the captain, coming up from defence and slamming that one past a helpless Hanayan goals. Oh, and somehow, it's kept out, is it? No, the referee was in a great position, and there's a judge that has gone over the line. An unfortunate one for Southern United.
There's a chance now for the Springs on the break, and this could well be the first goal of the game. There's no flag here, and the goal is tucked away by the American Sophia Garcia. And out of nothing, just as I was saying, Harry, that they really weren't firing too many shots, Southern will be very disappointed at how easily they've let Garcia in around the back. Well, and they've been gifted possession here, Colby. Cross comes in towards the far post, and in fact it's in the back of the net. Well, that is surprising in the sense that Southern looked as though that was completely under control. But all they've done is stand and watch Sophia Garcia grab her second goal. It's poor defending by Southern. Garcia is gleeful in accepting the header at the far post. Ball played down the right wing side. Chance for Colby to chase, and she will keep this in comfortably. Lara Colby, has she got support in the area? Yes, she has, and there's a 3rd goal. Well, that's well crafted, well finished by Hirano. So the substitute has an impact immediately. It's pretty calm on the ball. Oh, lovely turn. That's beautiful from Painenberg. Can she release the pass? She does to Colby. Best football of the match so far. To the edge of the penalty area, and that is the best goal of the match, and that is superb. Taparu with the finish, but beautifully crafted. And it all started with Emma Painenberg. What a turn in midfield, and releasing Colby, and again she found a teammate with the cross. Pedersen towards the Simmers, and it's over the keeper and in. And that is as good a fluke as you'll see in the National Women's League. No offence here to Maggie Pedersen. I have no doubt she did not intend that to be in the back of the net, Harry.
It looked like it was a cross intended, wasn't it? You know, Ryan Faith will be making sure they tidy that up through training during the week. But no, I think from a quality perspective, they've just
Garcia for the hat-trick, and she has her 3rd goal. Sorry, Harry, but that is a real highlight for Sophia Garcia, who just pulled the trigger, and she is delighted, the American, with a hat-trick in what is now a 6-1 scoreline.
Goal for Western Springs, number 10, Sophia Garcia.
Garcia making the run. Just inside, there she goes. Garcia around the keeper, should be a goal. Well done, Sophia Garcia. She was making 2 or 3 of those runs earlier on that occasion. Around the keeper and finished from a tight angle. The Pride really have started this game, the second half. Urgency. They are the team that's chasing the game at the moment. Lovely ball from Kleinenberg releasing Kolpe. Great shot by Kolpe. What a goal! Fantastic goal from Lara Kolpe. Well. That's a wonderful goal, wonderful run, and a fantastic finish. We were talking about the ascendancy with Canterbury Pride, but look at this run from Lara Kolpe. What a finish. Perfect finish from her. What a wonderful strike. Keita with a bit of space now. Tefaro. Kolpe again with a shot off the... Oh, it's in! What? Lara Kolpe. Oh, it was actually off the crossbar, back onto Una Foyle. Just unfortunate for Una Foyle and Canterbury United.
Welcome back to Michael's Ave in Ellerslie up here in Auckland, where we have a 1-0 scoreline in favour of Western Springs at half-time in this round 3 National Women's League contest. So let's have a look at some of the highlights from that first 45 minutes. And the game got off with Western Springs in the ascendancy. Hirano with the first snapshot after just a couple of minutes. There's a lot of surface water on the pitch at this point in the game. Then Maggie Peterson got down the line really well, got in behind the defence, and this was the first real clear opportunity, and it was Arena Hirano in behind the Auckland United defence, picks her spot, just passes the ball past the outcoming Jessie Barnard, and that gave Western Springs a 1-0 scoreline. Auckland United had their moments. This was probably one of the better of them. Emma Leeming just chipping the ball onto the top of the crossbar. Angelique Tui-Samoa really stretched there. Takeda, again, Rina Hirano just showing her skills, pulling the ball out of the air and then getting her shot away. Painenberg's been very good down the left. This was a great opportunity, a great move. Ball just a bit wide for Maya Lydes. She had to bring it back, and then it was Painenberg again who just pulls her shot past the post. Western Springs did have the ball in the back of the net for the second time, but chalked off for offside. And as the players come out onto this Michael's Ave surface that is drying out by the minute. It seems that the rain has dissipated, and I wouldn't say the sun's out, but it's certainly a lot brighter than it was when I was out there this morning, and it was absolutely hosing it down. But conditions have vastly improved, and it looks like we're going to get a full 90 minutes of football in. And what are you expecting in the second half, Harry?
Well, Fred, I think clearly Western Springs technically very good, particularly in the middle of the park. We talked about those runs from Sophia Garcia and Hirano and Maya Lyth to a certain extent as well. There's something for Auckland United really to come up with a plan to try and combat in the second half. I mean, they've had some Obviously, they're missing, I think, 3 players in the under-17s, Auckland United, but clearly they've had a couple of half chances, and as we said throughout the course of that first half, some nice build-up play, more direct, but just failing that last ball, bit of quality into the box or pass or a turn really has meant that they've been chased. They will be chasing the game in the second half.
Yeah, Springs that get us underway. Straight away, just send the ball forward to Hirano, who's been probably the best player on the park so far this afternoon. It'll be interesting to see if Auckland United and their coach Mauro Donoso have been able to work things out in the dressing room about how they're going to create a little bit more in the final third of this during the second half. Sophie Bradley just seeing this one over the sideline.
Yeah, I think if they can get their midfield closer to the Western Springs players, particularly in the middle park, and make it an even contest, because in the first half I think they've forfeited a lot of space in the middle of the park to Western Springs. So the likes of Bloomfield and Dodd and Williams, a bit more urgency, a bit more, I suppose, tenacity to really close down the space and try and pick up that second phase ball.
Yeah, there was a distinct lack of urgency in trying to close down the Western Springs players as they just brought the ball through midfield, especially in these sort of situations. See, there's Bradley trying to put some pressure on. The ball eventually finds its way through to Hirano on the left foot to Painenberg, trying to pull the ball down in front of Jenna Dodd. Free kick that time against Sofia Garcia, the American. Scored a hat-trick against the Pride as the Springs pushed themselves to a 3-0 scoreline there against Canterbury Pride. Then a couple of goals from Petra Buick brought the scoreline right back to 3-2 with just a couple of minutes remaining, but Springs managed to navigate the final moments of that game and win it 3-2, sorry. So they maintain their perfect record at the start of this National Women's League. Here's Bloomfield. The team does well to dispossess her. Again, battling away in the middle of the park. Springs that come away with it through Takeda. Ulubili to Timu. Innes. Done a decent job in the middle of the park as Jessica Innes. Just getting the ball and moving it from side to side.
Yeah, she's a good link player, isn't she? She's
Yep.
does the basics very well. Provides good cover. In front of the back, defensive two, particularly playing that midfield role with Taitumu.
Good strength from Bloomfield to win the ball. Barnard needs support, and again we see Amy Barnard just completely isolated up front, just surrounded by green and white shirts. Leeming. Just wondering if there's a substitution coming for Springs when you look at the bench there. Fourth official, Ashley Wilson. He's got the board in his hand, so maybe some movement coming in a minute. See Ryan Faithful there having a chat to one of his substitutes on the right hand side of your screen. He's saying just get forward. Get forward. just get forward. Just get on there, get forward and score me a goal. Again, Innes is getting on the ball. Here she is again. This time she can turn and play forward. It's looking for the run of Garcia.
Substitution, I think, Fred.
And there is the substitution, and it is Maya Lythe off, and Sophia Dyer will come in. Looks like a straight swap down the right flank. Innes just twisting around in the middle of the park there. Gets on the ball again and just manages to trip over it somewhat, but ball stays alive. You can hear the sound of how much water there is just sitting under the surface of the pitch here. Takeda now. Ulavili. Hirano. A pretty quiet first part of the second half as Rina Hirano. I'm sure that Coach Mauro Donoso would have had special mention of her in the Auckland United team talk, how to just minimise her impact on the game, because in that first half it was quite substantial. Interesting part of this, Harry, also is that Western Springs have been the better of the two sides and have had the better goal scoring opportunities and the like, but it's still only 1-0. They haven't actually cleared out,
That's right. And other than those, I think the two chances in the opening 2 minutes, I think, was that they haven't really created any other clear-cut chance. I mean, we saw the one, Painenberg, obviously, with her right foot just past the post. But you're right, Fred, 10 minutes or 9 or 10 minutes or so in the second half, neither keeper really has had to make a save. No, neither keeper tested in the second spell. Johnson just trying to, again, Auckland United may be guilty of trying to get in behind too quickly. Pedersen driving forward, runs into Jenna Dodd. It's certainly more of a contest in the middle of the park, isn't it, at the moment? Auckland United, sorry. certainly up their game. Their rhythm seems to be a bit more energy to their game. Closing down players a lot better than the first half. Perhaps that was a message from Aotearoa Denoso at half-time. As he touched on, Fred, the real lack of involvement in players like Rena Hirano in the second half. She was dominated the first half.
This is Takeda into Garcia.
Yeah, it's better from Sophie Bradley, putting pressure high up the park. Garcia play the ball back. She's again stepping well.
There's much more pressure on the ball from Auckland United, and they're looking a lot better for it, making it much more difficult for Springs. It's a new player, Dyer. Dyer gets it back again. Dodd just drops it back, and then they look to get the ball forward, but again that gap between the midfield and strike forces just a little too big. It's a better ball in, played wide to Bradley. Sophie Bradley, it's just too telegraphed, and that's easy pickings for Arisa Takeda. Painenberg. Can she go past Dodd? No, Dodd does well. Hirano. Haven't said that name much since half time. Pedersen looks in behind. That's a lovely ball from Pedersen. Garcia, can she slip it home? No! Slips it past the post. Good work from Jess Barnard. Came out really, really quickly to put pressure on the striker. But another good opportunity for Springs goes begging.
Yeah, Maggie Pedersen bringing the ball forward. Fantastically, what a well-weighted pass in there in the path of Sofia Garcia. And you're right, Fred, Jessie Barnard did well to come out and close the angle down.
So a substitution being made by Auckland United. Sophie Williams leaves the field, and in her place comes Penny Brill. So both coaches going to the bench reasonably quickly early in the game. As Garcia slips the ball in. Here's Hirano. Can she square it? Hirano gets it across. Garcia with the strike, and it goes high and wide. Lovely executed move there by Western Springs. And again, Hirano at the centre.
It was actually the running off the ball that made this quite. See the nice little angled run from Hirano. Ball played across.
Jess Philpott did well there for Auckland United, just putting Sofia Garcia under a bit of pressure as she was looking to just finish that move off. It's a poor ball by Richards. Hirano again brings Pedersen into the game. Dyer flicks it around the corner. And as we've seen so often today, Jess Innes just tidies up a bouncing ball in the middle of the park.
She is again putting pressure on the ball. Jessica, and she's had a solid game so far, allowing this player Taitsemu to push forward.
Pedersen steps forward and steps in to win the possession. Pedersen it is with the throw. Here she is. Ball inside to Taitimu. Innes.
She's got a nice first touch too as well, hasn't she? Jessica Innes. I think it makes you know, her next pass or a dribble so much more efficient, much more easier.
Taitinu that time just cleans up. Jervis across to Ulavili. Certainly noticeable that Ulavili's not carrying the ball forward, or not being allowed to carry the ball forward as much as she did in that first half. So something that Auckland United have tightened up on. And although they're stopping Springs from creating too many opportunities, they really aren't creating much in the attacking third themselves.
This goes to show how much they're reliant on someone like Millie Clegg to really be the difference up front.
Yes, well, they've got to find a way, because the players that have gone to the Under-17 World Cup in India are going to be away for a considerable time. Like the final game, well, the final group stage game is on the 17th. If they do get through the group stage, then their next game will be either, you'd think would be on the 20th or 21st of October. So that's 3 weeks away. Then they'll travel back, and so these coaches will be without those players for the better part of 3 to 4 weeks, you'd think. So if you are looking for or relying on someone like Millie Clegg to score your goals, then you've got a big hole for a few weeks. Barnard steps forward. Clears towards the halfway line. Now they get it over the halfway line. Can her sister run down Pedersen?
Yeah, they're well organised at their back, aren't they, Springs? Their back four in particular are very, very strong. You know, they cover each other well, close the ball down. Ulavili, good ball at feet, bring the ball out from the back as well. Very rarely do they get caught out of position, and I think it's one of the things Auckland United will be, hopefully trying to do is how do you pull Ulavili and the likes of Jervis out of that back line and just get them out, make some holes and some space in behind them.
Touch from Harano, finds Painenberg. Taitimu goes wide. Pedersen comes in off the line, then plays the ball back out. I think Dyer might have thought she was offside, but it didn't look that way. Sort of gave up on the chase, put the parachute out, as they say. 20 minutes gone here in the second half. Sophie Garcia almost intercepting that one. Would have been able to bear down on goal if she had, but with that skied clearance, an opportunity for Western Springs just to push players forward. Got the ball deep into Auckland United territory here. Takeda. Back to her compatriot Hirano. Innes. It's good work from Innes.
Yeah, she lost the ball but used her strength to get her body in front of Penny Brill.
Lead it straight up in there. Here's Hirano. Hirano slips it inside. Garcia. Garcia with the strike. Good left foot strike from Sofia Garcia. Just flashes over the crossbar.
Yeah, well, another good chance for Western Springs. This timed header there. Sophie Bradley. Garcia. Again, it's the second chance in the second half. She had that one-on-one with Jessie Barnard about 10 minutes ago.
It's a good strike.
It was a good strike.
Hit it well with her left foot there. Garcia. United in no seeming hurry to to get the ball back into play. Somewhat strange given the scoreline.
Just under 20 minutes to go. Well, Mauro Donoso be looking towards his bench, Fred, to what players are there for Auckland United that could potentially make a difference. Try and change the game to start creating a bit more desperation. They have to be chasing the game now.
Dyer just coughs up possession, but wins it back, does well. Tries to slip it inside to Innes. Innes switches to play Takeda. Takeda goes wide, then sets out on a run. And Jess Philpott shepherds it out. The game just sitting as a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Territorially, I think Western Springs shading it, but again, other than the odd long-range shot, we haven't really seen too much in the way of goal-scoring action. Across to Uluvili. Brings it forward. Hirano just drops it off to Pedersen. And her touch lets her down right in front of the Auckland United dugout. Very scrappy at the moment. Either side valuing possession enough. as we mentioned. Still only the one goal in it. Billy, Taitimu across to Painenberg. That'll be a foul. Clear-cut decision, that one. Jervis wants to get things underway quickly.
Yeah, Painenberg just again using her body to let the ball run across her. There's Bella Richards there, just over eager to win possession back.
Richards again brings it forward. Plays it into Johnson, and
it's really been their afternoon, hasn't it, from Auckland United? Just haven't really had the quality in that last ball into the box or that last pass forward to put a player into either a goal scoring position or to create some chances.
yeah, just need a little bit more craft. There's a ball over the top. Hirano. Can she get past the last defender? Spins on the edge of the box. Referee has a close look at it. And shake of the head. Not buying it. Timu lets the ball slip under her foot, but it was a good opportunity for Springs if Hirano had been able to get past that last defender.
The referee had a really good look at that one as well. Greenberry, it was a nice touch turn from Hirano. Georgia Martin just standing her ground.
Much like we saw in the first half, it was, I think, Georgia Martin. She came through the back, and that time with her hands up and said, "Ooh, not me." But referee adjudicating in her favour. She would have had a moment where she thought this is going to be a close one. And this comes forward as Garcia has the run outside from Takeda. Doesn't use her. Painenberg, and Painenberg on the half volley. Johnson there, just a tug of the shorts. Jess Innes. Lily Jervis. Nope. She says, Arissa, you can take this one. So Arissa Takeda to take. Sends it into the penalty area, flicked on and all the way through to keeper Barnard. It's Garcia tracking centrally, loses out. Richards slips it inside. Bloomfield does likewise. A new player. It was Penny Brill actually. Coming on. Penny Barnard battling. Now Hirano. That'll be a corner. Corner off Jess Philpott. So can Western Springs somehow get another goal? Just stretch this lead. A good opportunity. Jess Innes with the ball to deliver. Left foot, drills it into the near post. Headed out for another corner. No, I think it's just come off Lily Jervis. She didn't know much about that. It's just rolled out for the goal kick.
It did look like a
For all money, it was going out for another corner.
corner, wasn't it?
So substitution being made by Auckland United, and Amy Barnard's work for the afternoon is finished. And Izzy Durand will come onto the field. Also a sub for Western Springs. Lily Taitimu makes way, and it will be Helena O'Connor. So Mauro Donoso hoping that he can get something working better up front. Well, here's an opportunity. Garcia getting in behind. Garcia, good save. Barnard, second opportunity, second bite of the cherry, and it is the substitute, Sophia Dyer, that doubles Western Springs' lead. Rifles that ball into the roof of the net, and Western Springs lead it by 2.
Oh, nice ball in from Heinenberg. Hirano. Sophia Bradley there with the mistake at the back. Good first save there from Jessie Barnard off Sophia Garcia. Sophia Dyer there just to put that one into the roof of the net. And it is all Auckland United with the work to do now. Last 13 or so minutes for stoppages.
You've got to think, looking at the game, something's got to change for Auckland United. Maybe it's the substitutes, but they certainly need to get a little bit more happening. And Hirano looking for Dyer. It's going good pace, Dyer, since she's come on. Emma Leeming, not sure she got injured there. She just seemed to clutch at her side after she'd knocked that ball out. I do think Emma Leeming may have injured herself just there, so she is making her way off the park to be substituted, replaced by Maya Vince. You can see Vince there just dropping into that left back position, so it'll be a straight swap at the back. Ulavili, she's been good this afternoon, being willing to bring the ball forward into these advanced positions just to get things moving. O'Connor, first real intervention of the afternoon. Garcia lays it back to Takeda, looking for an opening to play the ball forward. Dyer, battling away. Wins possession though for her side. Here she's again, Dyer, Sophia Dyer. O'Connor putting some pressure on Georgia Martin. Back to Barnard, taking her time. Barnard only picks out a white shirt. Richards drops it off to Dodd. Here come Auckland United. Good work again from Ulubili, just shielding that ball over the goal line, snuffing out any opportunity for United to get something going in the final third. We're into the last 10 minutes. Currently Springs doing it reasonably comfortably here. Clear down the line. And sent straight back into the Western Springs penalty area, but just rolls harmlessly out for a goal kick. Ahead to next week, Springs will be up against Capital Football, and Auckland United will take on the Pride of the South, Canterbury Pride. So it'll be interesting again to see that North Island versus the rest of the country mix of games. Hopefully that the teams from down the line can put up good strong performances against the Auckland teams that are currently doing it quite easily in this National Women's League. But Auckland United, they've got themselves a corner. One of the few of the afternoon. Play it short. Bloomfield hooks it around the corner and the ball just spins away. From Maya Vince. It's Bloomfield again. Penny Brill battling the 15. Dodd right on the far side, and the ball gets knocked out off the foot of Izzy Durand. O'Connor, Dyer slips it inside. Good run again from Garcia. Garcia, can she check inside? Looking for support. O'Connor with the shot. And pretty easy for Barnard to get down and grab that one. Auckland United trying to get things going quickly, as you'd expect. Want the ball in play. Harano bundled off the ball by Johnson. Dodd. But you've got to say, Western Springs doing a good job of just managing the game. Still not allowing Auckland United space in the middle of the park or ability to play the ball forward.
Still pose a threat, don't they, going forward? We saw that with Garcia and O'Connor a few moments ago. Auckland United will need to be pushing players forward, getting them in forward positions to try and create something to get themselves back in this game. Springs won't be in a hurry to take this one. Lily Jervis.
Referee not happy that the ball was stationary. Jervis gets to do it again. This time she just sends it long. Just get it out of the danger area. Dyer does well, keeps the ball in play. Dyer's been good since she's come on. Scored the second goal for Springs. It's been busy up and down that far sideline. Dodd. Takeda gets a strong challenge as she goes to control that ball. Now Bloomfield drives forward looking for the run of Richards down this right wing. This is Jervis. Just turns into trouble, but eventually wins a throw. Just a few minutes remaining here. It does look like Western Springs are going to get their third victory over Auckland United this season. Johnson. Richards. Brill, Bloomfield. And another corner for United. I'm hearing there's going to be 4 minutes of time, so if United could score here, that could make the final 5 minutes quite interesting. Here comes the delivery to the back post. Good chance. Send the ball back into the penalty area. Headed clear by Springs. And away by Painenberg.
No one in the box with that cross from Auckland United. Throwing everything forward against Springs at the moment, but they need to get players in the box, need to put pressure on the ball, the turn possession over.
Garcia just taking your time to get up off the turf. Looks like the rain is just starting to come down again. The brollies have gone up on the far side. It's a good indicator. And now a double substitution for Western Springs. Painenberg heads to the sideline. And she will be replaced by Ania Irvine. Just waiting to see who the other one is, and it looks like Sophia Garcia. Just limping off there on that far side. She's been good.
She's been very good again this afternoon. Garcia, number 28. But you're right, Fred, yes, her running in behind in her League Cup play, particularly with Hirano in the first half, is really positive for Springs.
There's Hirano. Dyer going down the line again. And Vince gets across. You can see this. You can see the rain just sheeting across the ground. 4 minutes of time added on. We've had one of those minutes. Dyer wins a corner. So Springs will be happy that the ball's down this end of the park, because United aren't going to be scoring in quick succession, which is what they have to do to get anything out of this game. If the ball is down this end of the field, can they put a final nail in the coffin? Western Springs. Here comes the delivery, delivered into that near post area, and it's directly in. And I think it was untouched on the way through. I think it was Jess Innes who took the corner, so maybe she's going to be credited with the goal. It was drilled into that near post. It went over a couple of heads. Jess Barnard went to try and get it, but couldn't get anything on it.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a great ball in from Jess Innes. Just mistimed or misjudged the flight of that one. Jessie Barnard, probably better to try and punch than catch a ball, particularly in these conditions.
Yeah, you won't want to see that again too often. The Auckland United goalkeeper, Bree Johnson, trying to get a consolation goal, but the defence that has been marshalled so well by the two centre-backs, doing really well just to nullify anything that Auckland United can put forward. Lily Jervis and Jadichi Uluvili have been very, very good. Just calm and composed and not allowing Auckland United anything. Marano's dropped very, very deep now into the midfield position. Connor sets a sail, and here comes Dyer. Dyer, she's quick, got on behind. Can she find a teammate? Dyer goes for goal, and the ball flashes across the face of Jess Barnard's goal. Well, Sophia Dyer has shown really, really good attitude and good pace.
Yeah, look, just again continuing her good form in this second half since her substitution. I think it just came off the post as well, Sophie Dyer, but for her second goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, what a bonus as well for Ryan Faithful to be able to bring on someone with that sort of athletic ability.
Definitely changed the game. She.
Pedersen going down the line again. All the way back to Dyer. Dyer to go for the 1-2, and referee Riley Greenbridge says that's enough for the afternoon. Well, it was an afternoon of football where Auckland United struggled to get anything going forward. Western Springs were good for their win. The goal scoring started in the 10th minute with Rina Hirano capitalising on a lovely through ball, and the second goal had to wait till the 78th minute. Substitute Sophia Dyer nailing the second goal, and Jess Innes direct from the corner in time added on rounded out the goal scoring. And here at Michael's Ave, it has been Western Springs who have prevailed 3-0 over Auckland United. And looking at other results, or other matches round. Central Football up against Northern Rovers tomorrow. Canterbury United will take on Eastern Suburbs at English Park, and down at Petone Memorial Park, Capital Football will take on Southern United. So those are the rest of the round 3 fixtures. Matches in the Men's National League: Kashmir Tech 4-0 over Miramar Rangers, Napier City Rovers 1-0 over the Wellington Phoenix Reserves, and Auckland City held on to their 2-1 lead and prevailed over Wellington Olympic to get off to a winning start. Tomorrow's matches in the National League: Birkenhead United take on Christchurch United at Shepherds Park 1 o'clock, and then Auckland United up against Melville United 3 o'clock from Kithe Park. Be interesting to see whether that game has to be moved from Kithe Park, as this game this afternoon was moved. So those are the games in the Men's National League. Looking at the National Women's League standings, Western Springs surge to the top, 3 out of 3 for them. Eastern Suburbs have the opportunity to join them tomorrow. Auckland United sit in 3rd alongside Northern Rovers, and then Canterbury, Capital, Central and Southern round out the 8 teams in the National Women's League. Well, on behalf of Harry Nata, I'm Fred de Jong. Thank you for joining us. We bid you farewell from Michael's Ave in Ellerslie, with Western Springs running out 3-0 winners over Auckland United.